When a man is attracted to a woman, something happens in his mind that goes beyond the physical. It's like a switch gets flipped and suddenly everything about her seems amplified. In that moment, he's not just looking at her, he's imagining a future, he's picturing the possibilities. Thinking about who she is, how she moves, and what she brings into his world. It's a complex process, one that starts with attraction and quickly spirals into deeper thoughts and emotions that can influence his actions, his behavior, and even how he feels about himself. So let's dive into what really goes on in a man's mind when he's attracted to a woman, and how his thoughts shift in those moments. It all starts with the first impression. When a man sees a woman he's attracted to, his brain begins to process everything around her. He notices her body language, the way she carries herself, her smile, how she speaks, and how she interacts with others. It's as if his senses are heightened, everything becomes more intense, and he can't help but be drawn in. At this point, the first thing his brain does is look for signs of physical and emotional cues. He may not consciously realize it, but his brain is evaluating whether she is someone who is healthy, confident, and approachable. On a primal level, he's also looking for traits that signal she could be a good match for him, someone he can connect with on a deeper level. Now, if there's something about her that sparks a deeper emotional connection, his brain starts to release dopamine, which is known as the feel-good hormone. It's the same chemical that's released when you eat your favorite food, win a game, or even fall in love. Dopamine creates a rush of positive feelings, and it starts to make him feel more attracted, more engaged, and more curious about her. This rush of dopamine can trigger a feeling of excitement, and he starts to think about her more often, imagining what it would be like to get to know her better, to share experiences with her. It's like a snowball effect. Once that initial attraction is sparked, it grows stronger and his mind begins to wander to all the possibilities. As his attraction builds, so does his curiosity. A man starts to think about how he can approach her, what he can say, and how he can show her that he's interested. He starts running through scenarios in his mind, thinking about the best way to get her attention, to strike up a conversation, or maybe even ask for her number. His mind races with options and he can get a little bit nervous. That nervousness can sometimes show itself in small ways, like his hands becoming clammy or his heart rate increasing. This is a natural response, driven by the fear of rejection. But despite that, the desire to connect with her overrides the fear and he pushes through. His mind is now fully engaged in trying to figure out how to make that connection happen. When a man is attracted to a woman, he also starts to compare her to other women he's known. It's not necessarily a conscious thought, but his mind begins to assess her against his standards and his experiences. Does she have qualities that he finds desirable? Does she have similar values or goals? Or is there something about her that stands out in a way that makes her seem unique? These comparisons happen quickly and without him realizing it. His brain is just trying to make sense of the attraction he feels and figure out if she's someone who could be a good match for him long term. He might find himself drawn to her personality, the way she expresses herself, or the energy she radiates, and that's when he starts to feel that deeper emotional connection forming. A key part of what happens in a man's mind when he's attracted to a woman is the increase in his own confidence, especially if he starts to feel that she's also interested in him. When he gets a sign that she might be into him, even a small one, it boosts his self-esteem. It's like a confirmation that his attraction is being reciprocated, and this drives him to pursue her even more. He might find himself thinking about her more, trying to figure out how to get closer to her, or how to deepen the connection. It's as if the attraction feeds his desire to impress her, to show her that he's worth her time, that he's someone who can add value to her life. But let's not forget, there's also a biological side to attraction. It's not just about emotions or chemistry. There's a whole hormonal process happening behind the scenes. When a man is attracted to a woman, his body starts to release adrenaline and cortisol, which are stress hormones, but not in a bad way. These hormones heighten his awareness and focus. They make him more alert and ready to engage. His body is preparing for the possibility of a connection. And in a way, this biological reaction can increase his desire to be around her, to engage with her, and to get closer. At the same time, there's a part of his brain called the limbic system, which is responsible for emotions, and it's also responsible for the way he reacts to physical attraction. When he's around a woman he's attracted to, this part of his brain goes into overdrive, triggering emotional responses like excitement, joy, and even lust. But it's not just about sexual attraction. It's also about a desire to connect on a deeper level, to build something meaningful. And his mind starts to imagine a future with her. He might picture going on dates, having deep conversations, and even building a relationship. The more he gets to know her, the more his brain starts to assess her potential as a partner, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. He starts to ask himself deeper questions like, does she have qualities that I admire? Does she have a sense of humor? Do we share similar values? Can I trust her? His mind starts to process all these factors, trying to determine if this attraction could be something more than just a fleeting interest. It's his mind's way of assessing compatibility, looking at the bigger picture and deciding if she could be someone he wants to pursue for a deeper, more long-term connection. And sometimes, his attraction goes even deeper than that. When a man is attracted to a woman, he may start to imagine what it would be like to share his life with her, to experience new things together, to build memories. He may even start to fantasize about a future where they're in a relationship, living together, and experiencing life as a team. These thoughts, while they may seem far off, are a part of the process. It's his mind's way of figuring out if this attraction could lead to something more meaningful and lasting. So what happens in a man's mind when he's attracted to a woman? It's not just about what he sees. It's about the emotions, the chemistry, and the mental processes that happen. It's about the dopamine that makes him feel good, the curiosity that makes him want to get closer, the biological reactions that make him feel alive, and the deeper thoughts that make him envision a future. Attraction is a complex mix of physical, emotional, and psychological factors, all of which come together to create a powerful force, one that makes him think, feel, and act in ways he may not even fully understand. But all of this is a part of the experience of attraction, and it's a beautiful thing to witness and understand. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, because you will learn tons of information in the next video.